to you live every single Monday night. And today we're going to talk about how to get rid of those love handles. It's what everybody wants. You know what people want? To be leaner for the summer, to get shredded for the summer, to burn fat, to build muscle, to get in better shape. Now, listen, I'm the functional fitness guy. Everything I've ever done is around building real world horsepower. It's around getting stronger, being better, better at sport, better at competition, all right? Just moving the angle on that. You can see that I fought in the UFC in the background. That's some real world horsepower right there. I've also won a world master title at black belt for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But anyway, a lot of my stuff has been sport oriented, right? Worked with people in the NFL, the NBA, tier 1 assets in the military. It's never really been about looks, but I will tell you, looks are a great byproduct, and it's what everybody wants. Everybody just wants to look good at the pool, at the beach, wherever. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about some things you can do to help you look better. And part of looking better is getting rid of those love handles, getting that six-pack you've always wanted. So we're going to talk. I'm going to give you some tips if you stay tuned to this live. Easy tips to follow. I shouldn't say they're easy. They're simple, but they're not easy. Otherwise, everyone would have a six-pack if it was that easy. But I also want you to know a couple of things. You can ask questions throughout this live, and I will answer them, all right? So any questions you have about fitness, about food, about getting leaner, about sports psychology, I am your guy, and I am here to answer those questions. And make sure that during this live, you get your supers in, you get your memberships. Those help me eat, and I want to eat. I am a hungry big man. But the more of those I get, the longer I can go live, and the more often I can go live, which is really, really important to me because I want to connect with you. And my mission here is to give you the realest fitness information on the planet. Honestly, I'm 46 years old. I've never used PED. I've never used TRT. I say this all the time. I've got 3 kids. I do a lot of content creation in the real world. I write for Men's Health. Like I have a full-time kind of gig. If you want real fitness advice from someone that's actually doing the thing and trained people that are doing the thing, I am your guy. No hacks, no gimmicks, no 3 easy payments and $9.99, no garbage shortcuts like this typical stuff that's out there. I will tell you the straight truth, and it might not be what you want to hear, but it's what you need to hear, all right? So let's go over these ways that you're going to get shredded for the summer, get rid of your love handles one by one. And in the meantime, I'll go back and forth with you and answer some questions. So the first way that you're going to get shredded for the summer is you got to put in the activity. Without the activity, it's not going to happen. Now, I'm famous for this program I put out on Men's Health called the 28-Day Shred. And what it is, it's 2-a-days for 4 weeks straight. I need you to be active. Now, don't let the 2-a-day thing scare you. Jody Preston, hi to you. Don't let the 2-a-day thing scare you. I want you to do a weighted or resistance type workout once a day. The other session, we'll call it, I need some cardiovascular activity. It can be a swim, it can be a run, it can be a hike. If you are beat down, it could be a walk, but I need you to move your body as much as possible. So for 28 days, you're doing the resistance training once a day. The other time a day, you're doing a good hour of solid cardio. Intervals, steady state, like it doesn't even matter, but I just need you to move your body. All right, that's how it's all gonna start. Now you might be saying, Bobby, I don't want to work out twice a day. People do it all the time. They do it in 75 hard, but people say, hey, I don't want to move my body. I don't want to do this. Well, you don't want to be ripped. You don't want to be lean. Like I never said this was going to be easy. I'm just telling you what needs to be done. And this is the type of program I would put a movie star in. Like if someone had a movie in 6 weeks and they had to get shredded, they had to look good, you would be on the 2-a-day program. I mean, at that point, you might be on the 3-a-day program, to be honest with you. But you think Michael B. Jordan looks like he does because he did nothing? You think Henry Cavill, who actually trained at a gym I used to run, Jim Jones, you think he looks like that by training like once a day? It doesn't work like that. You got to put in the effort. Dark Knight of the Soul says, can it be together? In a perfect world, I would have them separated, honestly, just for hormonal reasons. Every time you exercise, you get a spike in all the good hormones. But if you had to, you could do them together. Papa Fon says, what type of cardio? You got a couple of choices. One, you could do harder intervals. My favorite protocol for that is a 10-minute warm-up. Then you do 6 minutes of 30 seconds work, 30 seconds rest, 30 seconds hard, 30 seconds easy. You do 6 minutes of that. Rest for 4 minutes, do that again. Rest for 4 minutes, do it again. And then you would have a 10-minute cool down. That would be a great format for intervals. That's a 15-minute workout right there. I'd add maybe an extra 10 minutes of extra steady state cardio in the front or the back to round it out to an hour. Or you could do some type of steady state cardio. Steady state cardio is also really, really good. All right. Dark Night of the Soul says I usually do cardio and then weights. That works too. You could do cardio in the morning and you could do your weights at night. I'm fine with that. Or your cardio before and then your weights. James Roberts says, as far as resistance work, I thought you had to do it every day, other day to let the muscles rest up, but could you do arms one day, shoulders the next day, chest the next? Absolutely you could. That's what bodybuilders do. Like it's the standard, and you've probably heard this before, chest Monday, back Tuesday, legs Wednesday, shoulders Thursday, arms Friday. So that way you're building the rest in. When one body part's working, the other one's resting. The way I do it is I go upper, lower, upper, lower, upper, lower, and I just run kind of that routine, all right? So you could do that as well. So you build rest in. So your upper body's Monday, lower body's Tuesday, upper body's Wednesday, lower body's Thursday. I actually do the inverse of that. I do my legs Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but here we are, right? Now, that's number one. You need the effort. You need to put the time in. You need to be active AF. Now, on top of those two workouts, if you want to burn fat, you got to figure out a way to burn more calories. And I don't know if it's a 10,000 steps a day thing. I don't know if it's 15,000 steps. I don't know if it's like an extra walking or cardio, but I want you moving. The leanest I've ever been in my life is I worked a landscaping job. I was working out twice a day. And during the day, I was just on my feet and moving all day. And there was not enough food in the world to fuel that calorie deficit. So the more movement, the better. So point one was I need formal workouts twice a day. Point two, I want as much activity as possible. Take the stairs instead of the elevator. And I have a bunch of people saying hi, hello to you. Don't forget, get your supers in right now. All right, I want to see the screen lighting up with those supers and get your questions in because I'm here to answer. So the top two things, number one, work out twice a day. Number two, I want as much activity as possible. Number three, you're going to need to have a big calorie restriction. Now, we're going to make this easy for you. Hello to Russia. You could go on the internet, get a BMR calculator, try to figure out what your basal metabolic rate is, try to do a calculation for all that stuff, right? But we're just trying to get shredded. So we're going to keep this simple, 1,800 calories a day. I don't care how big of a deficit it is. I don't care if you crash. We are here to get shredded. It's going to hurt, but that's the cost of getting lean. That's the cost of being shredded. You should have no problem with suffering, no problem with being uncomfortable. All right. Goose Lee, can you get a shout out? HE double hockey sticks. Yes, you can. So a big shout out to Goose Lee. Thank you for the compliment on my content. I put a lot of work into it. I'm really genuinely trying to help people. But back to the calories. 1,800 a day. It's going to hurt. It's going to suck, but that's what it's going to take. The guys who are on the cast and crew of 300, again, the gym that I ran for years, Jim Jones trained all those guys, but they were doing under 1,800 calories a day. It sucks, but it works. In that 1,800 calories, you need to eat 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight a day, just to make sure you're keeping on your muscle during all this shredding. So if you're 150 pounds, 150 grams of protein, right? I don't care how you get the rest of it, fat, carbs, it doesn't matter. I prefer the low carb thing. Some people prefer higher carb and low fat. I don't really care. Has to be under 1,800 calories, but your protein needs to be the right amount of protein, 1 gram per pound of body weight a day. So that's super important. If you're 200 pounds, it's 200 grams of protein, and the rest you're just trying to survive. I would also eat a diet that's clean of processed food. You'll be able to take in more food. You feel more satiated, but it's also better for you from a health perspective. So basically, I'd be living off nuts, berries, meat and greens and eggs. Like that is it. I would limit the amount of protein shakes you have because real food will always fill you up more. Dark Night Soul, any concerns if you're diabetic? Well, first of all, I'm not a doctor. Number one, let me put that in. But yeah, with diabetics, there's always a concern. You just have to make sure you time your eating, you time your nutrient, you time your insulin, all that stuff, where you're not putting your body under undue stress. All right, so you can still handle it. Rachel Moran, one of my favorite people on the planet with the super. I really appreciate you. And hey, I am glad you are back. I missed you. So welcome back to the show and starting off the show in style with that big super. A lot of you guys out there should be like Rachel. A, she gives me supers, which is awesome, right? But B, you know what I love the most about Rachel? She's doing the work. She's working out hard every day. She's eating right. She's trying to better herself. And I am all for 100% people that are doing that. All right. If you're willing to be one of those people that works out, that betters yourself, that puts in the effort, you're one of my people. So Rachel Moran, lifelong membership to Team Maximus. All right. So the diabetic thing, yes, you have to have a concern, but you have to have a concern whether you're dieting or not. So look after that first. So we covered the diet part. The next part, I need stress mitigation. You can't be stressed like crazy. You're going to be under enough stress from the diet. You're going to be under enough stress from the 2-a-day workouts and all the activity. I need you to get rid of any non-essential stress. Don't be picking fights with your partner. Don't be watching stressful sports things. Don't be putting yourself, don't check the news. Don't put yourself in positions of stress mitigation. And a lot of people have a negative reaction to stress where they get that cortisol belly, right? They get that fat. Stay away from stress. When I'm not stressed, I am at my leanest. And the final one, I need 8 hours plus sleep a night for a couple of reasons. Number one, you'll put yourself in a really advantageous position hormonally, right? Your testosterone, your human growth hormone, you want those through the roof. Conversely, if you sleep like 5 hours a night, your testosterone will absolutely plummet. You got it? I need more sleep. But the second reason is you're going to need energy. Like you might be sleeping 9 to 10 hours a day on this program. You're going to be working out twice a day. You're going to be low on calories. You're going to be exhausted. You need to be energetic. And if you're tired, you will break on your diet. So I need you to be super dedicated to sleep. Now you're listening to this, but you're thinking like, Bobby, like how can this possibly work? This is super simple because you ain't doing this. That's why you're not shredded. That's why you have love handles. That's why you don't have abs. If you were doing all this, you would look like a person that was doing all this. So again, we need the workouts twice a day. We need the loads of activity. You need to really calorie restrict. I want 1,800 calories or less a day with enough nutrient density in the diet. That's why you got to stay away from processed food. I want you to mitigate stress. Karina Lopez, great content. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. But, all right, you need the stress mitigation, okay? And with the sleep, you need the sleep. Now, R. Walker says, speaking of testosterone through the roof, what do you know about TRT? So I've never used TRT, but I know some people that do. And I want to say this just as like a blanket statement, and this is my philosophy. Number one, I want to try to do everything as naturally as possible. Like take depression, for example. It can be a really serious thing. But if you spend all your time inside, you haven't seen the sun in years, you engage in negative activities and you're depressed, I don't think the answer should just be hopping on medication. Like if you need it, yes. But I don't think that should be your first answer, right? It can be really serious. But I believe that you should get some sun. You should eat healthy. You should engage in healthy activities. That doesn't fix your depression. Then yes, go for the medication. But you got to do those things. Same thing with testosterone. If you have low T because you sleep 5 hours a night and because you don't get the sun, and because you don't work out, and because you eat like trash, here's the deal. I would fix those things before I looked at TRT. But say you are doing everything right and your testosterone is low, then TRT you might need. Go get a round of blood tests, see where things are at, and then get a really, really good sports-minded hormonal doctor to help you through, okay? Rachel Moran, there was a green dot thing for mindset. I heard you talk about it a long time ago. Can you remind me what it is? Okay, so you can see right here, we got this green dot. I have them all over my house, all right? Now, it's positive thinking. So a lot of us think really negatively about a lot of stuff. Like maybe I'm going to fail this test. I'm not going to get this job promotion, all right? I'm going to ask this person out and they're going to reject me. And we're just filled with all kinds of negative thoughts, right? We have to retrain that. And the most important muscle to train is the one in your ears. And you got to train it. You can't just read a book and say, I'm going to think positively, and then all of a sudden magically think positively, right? So what I do is I put all these green dots all over my house. And every time I see a green dot, I have to think something positive. So whenever I walk into my office, I look at that green dot. I'm like, say something positive of myself in relation to my goals. What you will do eventually is you will. Man, the people comments on this, they're unreal. All right. Do you have any bats in the cave? Nope, I'm good. But thanks for that, by the way. Some of you people, man, you're unreal. But back to the thing, I think positively every time I see a green dot. You know what green dot I'm thinking about right now? I wish Dakota 27 and Billy Squatch would just go away, would just disappear. I also have the power. I can block you, by the way, if you get really out of hand. Michael Glassmaker with a massive super $4.99. Thank you very much. One of my people, one of the people I train, one of the hardest workers I know. Very proud to be your coach. So I appreciate that. But back to the green dot thing, Rachel, I think a positive thought. And if I think enough of those throughout the day, if I see enough green dots, overwhelmingly, most of my thoughts are positive. Most of my thoughts are green. I will start to shift the narrative in my brain from negative to positive. All right. So that's that with the green dots. DT Jax, thoughts on Wolverine? I think he's a great superhero. I love Wolverine. I also love anime. We got some Hunter x Hunter, and we got some Avatar up here. So love my anime. All right. Here's the deal. The green stuff really, really works. It sounds hokey. It sounds weird. It will help you shift the conversation in your brain from negative to positive, and that will make all the difference. I promise you that. All right, so positive thinking, that's part of this program as well. Like I would be doing the work, I would be doing the sports psychology, I would be doing all the positive thinking exercises, because when you're trying to deal with the negativity of being on a diet, of working out all the time, of being tired, of the doubts, of all those things, it can get really, really difficult. So positive thinking is everything. Patty O completed the 50 by 3 today. I'm assuming it's the Holy Trinity, 50 pull-ups, 50 push-ups, 50 dips. Favorite workout of all time. That's a great way to do resistance training. During the shred, I've had a lot of people just alternate Holy Trinity and Lowly Trinity. So for the Holy Trinity, you, Billy Squatch, get out of here, man. There's nothing there. You're an idiot. I am blocking you. Let's see. You are removed. Goodbye. Can you imagine? I actually did have some bats in the cave, and I don't, and I'm clear, but I'm not going to give that guy the satisfaction. So Billy, you are gone for being an idiot. There's a lot of idiots on the YouTube, by the way, that make a lot of just terrible, terrible comments, right? Dakota, you calm down. You did not get blocked. So thank you very much. All right. So Patty O completed the 50 by 3 today. And Patty O, you the man, Bobby, gave me that motivation. 55 years old. Billy Squatch is back. I got to figure out how to block this dude, all right? Put user in timeout. That's what I want. I just removed the message, but you were going in timeout, all right? And you were going to go in timeout for, I'm going to give you 5 minutes, all right? So you are timed out for 5 minutes, and then we'll see if you come back and act nicer. Back to Patio, you the man, Bobby. Give me that motivation. 55 years old. You were never too young to start. I want to see the workouts. Northman, if GSP and Anderson Silva fought in their prime, who would win? That is tough, man. Anderson is just so much bigger than GSP. I think Anderson wins, but I would love for GSP to win. Michael Glassmaker, agree on the shift with green dots, have them in my home gym and one in my truck to start the day. See, you're listening. I didn't even have to tell you about the green dots and you did it. So I love it. But they do really, really work. You got to stay positive. Oh, I know what I wanted to say, Patio. And to everyone else listening, for the resistance training for getting shredded, you could alternate upper and lower or holy and lowly trinity. Holy trinity is the push-ups, pull-ups, dips for 30 minutes, max reps of each. The lowly trinity is reverse lunges, squats, and sit-ups. So basically you can do upper body Monday, the lower body version Tuesday, and just alternate for the 28 days, and you would look absolutely amazing. I'm actually thinking about doing a body weight program only myself and doing the same kind of thing. I'm a little addicted right now to the fat bar deadlift, so I don't know if I can give that up, but in the afternoon, at least, that's what I'm doing. Body weight conditioning could be a great program. But I want to recap the ways you're going to get shredded. So number one, all right, activity twice a day. And by the way, Michael Glassmaker, with the programs I'm giving you, you can always do extra cardio. There's nothing wrong with that at all. You do the resistance training in the morning when you wake up early, and then at night you do an hour of extra cardio. That will never, ever, ever, ever hurt you. I mean, maybe if you were trying to be the world's most strongest man or doing some powerlifting or something like that, you know what I mean? But extra cardio for the win. That's number one. Number two, you want all the activity possible, right? I want you to get those steps in. I want you to move. Number three, proper nutrition. You're going to have to starve yourself. Like, I hate saying it, but 1,800 calories or under a day, and only clean food, nutrient dense, clean, non-processed food. Like, that's what it's going to take. Number four, stress mitigation. Get rid of that stress. Just get rid of it. Goodbye. And then number five, I want all the sleep. I need you to sleep 8 hours plus a night. Scott Clark, another one of my people. You're always supporting me. I really, really appreciate that. Have you ever walked backwards uphill with a weight vest, massive quad burn, wondering if I could swap banded leg extensions with that? No, you're doing the banded leg extensions. They are great for you. You want to walk backwards uphill with a weight vest, you do extra, but you are not skipping out on the leg extensions. I know they suck. I know they're hard, but I need to strengthen your legs, and trust me, they will help you. So no more substitutions. You are on the damn program. And now you've gone and angered me. I'm going to have to send you some very angry text messages after this. I'm laughing, but yeah, no, you're done. All right, starting week 5 now. I love it. Let's go. Okay. I wonder if that Billy dude's coming back. I put him in timeout for 5 minutes. I wonder if he's going to come back. Maybe with an apology. Maybe with a super. That would actually be really, really good. So to recap for the people that are just joining, the 5 ways you're going to get shredded. I'm going to go over them in detail. I need physical activity every day, and I want 2 a days. You don't want to do 2 a days. Don't get ripped. Don't get shredded. Don't have abs. Like, everyone wants to be ripped. Everyone wants to look like this up here, but nobody wants to do the work. I've worked out 2 to 3 times a day for the last 30 years. All right. You need to put in the effort. One of those efforts is resistance training. Could be body weight, could be kettlebells, could be dumbbells, could be barbells. The other is cardio. Cardio for an hour, intervals or steady state. If I'm feeling really good, I do intervals. If I'm feeling beat down, I do steady state. Okay, number 2, as much activity as possible. I want you walking. I want you taking the stairs. I want you not taking the ramp in the airport. You know, the ramp people ride, the horizontal one, because they're too lazy to walk. None of that. All right, so that's number 2. Number 3, and Mimico 857, I will get to you on that because I did work as a police officer, so I'll give you some sleep tips, all right? Number 3, you got to starve yourself. Under 1,800 calories a day, okay? In that, to keep yourself full, to keep yourself going, to prevent the muscle burn, you're going to have to get a gram of protein per pound of body weight a day, and ideally, I don't want shakes or supplements. I want you to get it all from real food, okay? It'll keep you more satiated. Number 4, stress mitigation. Stay away from extra stress. If you're stressed, you're going to get that cortisol belly. It's not a good look, so stay away from the stress. And then the final thing is I want 8 hours sleep a night. Now, Mimico, for night shift workers, right? Too hard to work out, always tired from work. When I was a cop, I was working nights all the time, but I still never missed a workout. So here's what you need, okay? The first one, the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to get blackout curtains. It's really hard to sleep with the light. The melatonin in your body will get washed away, all right? So I need you to get blackout curtains. Sleep in the dark. Number 2, set your alarm for 8 hours. Still sleep for 8 hours. So if you're going to bed at 7 in the morning, you're not waking up till 3. Then when you wake up, the first thing you're going to do, you're going to pound some coffee or some pre-workout. You might need some pre-workout to get out of bed, and you're going to go train, and you're going to check that box. I don't care if you're tired. I don't care if it's a good workout, if it's a bad workout. You just have to make it happen. And that's what I used to do when I was a cop with the blackout curtains. They were 100% key, all right? Martian RR, cardio before, after weightlifting. I'd prefer after, but honestly, you just have to get the cardio in. Mr. Reboot, what's up, man? Met you at the Collective in SLC. You were incredibly kind and helpful. Thank you very much. I really, really appreciate that. Thanks for the straightforward, down-to-earth education. Much appreciated. I appreciate you stopping by. And I appreciate, seeing you. It was nice to meet you that night at the YouTube Collective. That was great. There's a lot of incredible YouTube creators in Salt Lake City. It was absolutely an honor to get to go there. So real pleasure to meet you as well. That Knock Life, pretty much doing 1 through 5 that you mentioned. Also, I cut out alcohol, energy drinks, and sugar. Black coffee only. Eat 12 to 8 usually. That's a good plan, and I forgot to mention that. Get rid of the alcohol for 28 days. That is a massive one. Get rid of the alcohol completely. You don't need the extra calories. It'll put you in a hormonal negative, all right? So get rid of it. Jim Lund, how can the sauna help you towards this goal? Well, a couple of ways. Number 1, the first way that it's going to help you is with recovery. Sauna helps with recovery. Number 2, increased testosterone. Number 3, extra calorie burn. So yeah, it will help a ton. Mimico, so working out after night work is not healthy. Noted, should start buying thick curtains. Yeah, get blackout curtains. It's not even about the thickness. You need real blackout curtains, a complete absence of light. Now, you could work out after a night shift, like whatever you got to do to get your 8 hours. I just always found that I was too tired after night shift. Like when I hit 7 in the morning, I was exhausted. And I did better when I would sleep and then wake up and work out. But if you had to work out after night shift, you could. In that case, maybe you're off at 7 in the morning, you work out till 9, then you sleep from 9 to 5. I just found I was always too tired, and I got more out of myself waking up or working out when I woke up. Singing, dancing, muscle man, any thoughts on side planks before deadlifts for 3 sets of 30 seconds on each side with 15 seconds rest between sets to warm up the whole core and keep the low back safe? I don't have a problem with it as long as it's helping your deadlift and not hindering it, right? So as long as you're activating the core, getting ready to lift, I think they could be really, really valuable. I don't know if I would want to do that if I was going for an absolute 1 rep max, but chances are you probably don't need to do that anyway. So there we have it. It's been an awesome live. Does anyone have any more questions for me? I love the questions. Are burpees good for cardio? Yes, but burpees end up being more resistance training than cardio. The type of cardio I want in the afternoon is not just an hour of burpees. I want steady state cardio, biking, running, swimming, things like that. That Knock Life will spit out your question, and Billy O did not come back. Billy got timeouted. He's probably not in timeout anymore. He did not come back. But that's what happens when you screw around and you mess with people. He's trying to get me to show my nostrils to the camera. All right. That Knock Life, what is your question? I have got some Magic Gathering cards to play with, so you better, put that out. Who's my toughest fight in the UFC? That's kind of hard. I would probably say Jason Lambert. Super, super tough guy. It's actually that fight right there was against Jason Lambert. I lost that one. Incredibly tough fighter. He's fought some of the best people in the world. He fought Tim Sylvia, fought Marco Ruiz, the king of the streets, and a really, really good dude. Mimico says, thanks for the tips, sir. You have a good one. Wish you all the best. Thank you very much. yeah, I have a good night planned. I'm going to have some steak. I'm going to have some good food. I'm going to put together a Planeswalker deck with Magic Gathering. If you know what that is, it's what I had to do in all my spare time. Singing, dancing, muscle man says, "Ah, sounds good. I don't max out. The lowest rep range is 4 to 6 reps. So sometimes I rarely get overzealous and get 3 reps. So yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, the core workout would be great. All right. So yeah, I hope everyone has a good night. Get your supers in before I go. I'd love to see one more super before I sign off. It would make my soul happy. All right. I'm here. I work for you. I give you the information. We have fun. It's an interactive show. We're live. We got some bloopers, right? But I would love to get some supers in, especially so I can go buy more little Warhammer creatures, Space Marines. Yes, I am a nerd. You already knew that with the Hunter x Hunter and the Avatar and all that stuff. Weights 3 to 4 times a week, cardio 4 to 6 times a week, clean diet after 4 weeks, same weight, but body composition way better. Is a creatine and muscle gain reason for the same weight? No, I'd say it's just redistribution, right? Like, put it this way. If you lost 10 pounds of fat, but you gained 10 pounds of muscle, you're the exact same weight, but you will look dramatically better. Like, that's just a fact. 10 pounds of muscle looks a lot better than 10 pounds of fat. And that's actually sometimes preferable to losing 20 pounds of fat. I would rather gain 10 pounds of muscle and lose 10 pounds of fat than lose 20 pounds of fat. Just so we're clear, you will look better on that. Karina Lopez, I wear 3 pounds around my waist. I lost 54 pounds, 208, and now 154. Awesome job. That is no easy task. That is massive. So good for you. You have really, really made a difference in your life. So I admire you for that. Now, what I want you to do is now do this program. Now go extra hard. That last little bit of weight around your stomach, you're going to have to go extra hard to get rid of it. That's the only way. You know what I mean? It's going to suck, but it is good for you. Scott Clark with the super, making up for asking me for a substitution. Great work. That Knock Life. Thanks, Bobby. Great live. Wish I would have tuned in earlier. Subscribed. Thank you. That means a lot to me. Make sure everyone here too, even if you don't give supers, go on my latest video, how to get rid of your love handles. It's not called that. It's about getting rid of love handles. I think it's 97% of men can't lose their love handles or something like that. It's got a flashy title, but I want you to go on there and make a comment. Make a comment. Great video. Love your fitness content. Let's bump the algorithm up. Like it, heart it, save it, share it. Make a comment. When I get off here, I want to see 100 comments on that video immediately. All right? Wartime says he can defend myself against 98% of people on Earth. 98% of people on Earth are horribly out of shape, so I hope so. Blast radius, no late night snacks in order to get rid of love handles. I'm guilty of that. I eat cheese and crackers, not all the time though. I actually don't care about the late night snacks. What I care about is the total calories in a 24-hour period. Whether you get 1,800 in 6 meals, you get it for breakfast, you get it for dinner, you have 3 squares a day, it doesn't really matter. All right, so that is that. Karina Lopez, thanks, Michael. I walk 3 miles a day every day. Incredible way to do it. But now it is the time to go really, really hard. We got some guy here asking Arthur for cars for edits. I have no clue what you're talking about. Again, weird comments, all right? You can eat spinach for a late night snack. Again, you can eat anything for a late night snack. It just depends on calories in 24 hours. That not like rapid fire question. Quick 1,800 calorie example on meals for the day. All right, so I would wake up and I would have like 3 whole eggs. So we're going to talk about like close to 300 calories for that. I would have maybe some veggies with it, right? Like you could make like a scramble with the eggs with a little bit of veggies. Maybe put, I don't know, what do you put in eggs? Some onions, that would be good. Some garlic, maybe some red peppers, maybe a little bit of broccoli or something like that. Make yourself a really delicious omelet. Maybe use a little bit of Parmesan cheese to add to some flavor. So there I mean, with all that stuff, maybe you're at 400 calories from that. Maybe. All right. Then for lunch, I would have a couple of 100 calories of chicken breast. You probably get a good 1 3/4 chicken breast from that. And with the other 300 calories for a 500 calorie lunch, I would have some rice. All right. So I'd have a little bit of rice and chicken. So now you're at 500 calories for that. So you're at 900 calories for the day. In the afternoon, I would actually probably do maybe a little handful of berries and a little bit of handful of nuts, maybe 150 calories from the blueberries and the raspberries, maybe 150 calories from the nuts, maybe like a tablespoon of nut butter. So now you're at 1,200 calories, and then 600 calories for the dinner at night. I'd have about 400 to 500 calories of steak with a little bit of veggies on the side. That would get me to the 1,800, and I would be a really happy guy. So hopefully that makes sense. It's just off the top of my head, but make sure you put stuff in your fitness app and weigh and measure and stuff like that. I should actually look up, like, let me see here, just for fun, how many calories in an egg. Well, it says an egg has about 70 calories. I was saying 100, so I guess you could have 4 or 5 eggs, and that would work a little better, so that would be great. All right, wartime, sometimes for that little bit of weight around your waist, you're going to have to take a diet break because your body will adapt to it and not bulge. I think there is some truth to that, but I think it's more psychological. To give yourself just a bit of a break mentally, because that can get hard. If I was doing that, I would do 3 weeks of super calorie restriction and then 1 week of normal, but you can't go crazy during that 1 week of normal. You don't want to put everything back on, so just something to consider. So that Knock Life, here's your diet. That omelet for breakfast, some chicken and rice for lunch, some steak for dinner, a little bit of a snack. You have some berries and some nuts for some nutritional sustenance. I would also do some arugula, like a good arugula salad for lunch or dinner would be awesome. In this diet, I would have it for dinner with the steak, just to have myself a little bit of a side. So there we go. And on that note, I just heard my little dudes run in. We have a night planned. We are going to do some Magic the Gathering. We are going to do some Warhammer. So I am going to bounce. But it's been an incredible live. Everyone here, please, please, please go on my last video. 97% of men can't get rid of love handles. Put a comment down. Get your supers in. You can give me supers on all my videos. I really, really appreciate that. And thanks again for another incredible live. We had a couple of weirdos in the comments, right? But that's what happens on these lives. And the more people that come, the more weirdos we get. But I'm happy to entertain them. I'm happy to talk to them and have a little bit of fun. So, another Bob Maximus Live. Let's get shredded for the summer. You know what I'm going to be doing. Singing, dancing, muscle man, just comment something about the video. Thank you for your knowledge. I want abs for the summer. This is the best fitness channel ever. Shredded would be a good one-word comment. All right? Enoch Evans, we were talking about how to get shredded for the summer, how to get rid of your love handles. So replay the live, and I will see you guys next time.